nerds and nerdettes. It's me, Stevie B, with a special episode of my mystery box unboxings. Today we revisit Comic Book Campaign. You might remember him from an earlier episode. If you've watched my videos, you know that me and Comic Book Campaign, Andrew. Well, we I don't know if you call it a misunderstanding or anything, but I went on a little bit of a rant about signed comic books and AOKs. And since that rant has gone, on my YouTube, I've gotten feedback and from other ones of my friends, and they're all like, dude, the COA doesn't mean squat because they can be faked, forged, and so they're a useless piece of paper. And to that, my response is always, okay, well, I have a bunch of signed comic books with no COA. Would you like to purchase them at signed comic book prices? And the answer is usually met with a resounding no. So, that little piece of paper has a smidgen of clout to it. I agree. Nothing's set in stone if it ain't professionally graded and authenticated that way. But again, if we're talking about $1,000 book, that the difference between $1,000 and $5,000 is a Stan Lee signature, then yeah, that little COA don't mean anything, and there's a good chance you could get a forged one. So, but when you're talking about $10, $15 books, nobody's really going to go out of their way to forge a COA to get an extra couple bucks out of a $15, $20 book. So I tend to, for those kind of books, I tend to, give the COAs a little bit of credibility. But anyway, we are going to revisit Comic Book Campaign. He reached out to me and he said, hey man, since watching your videos, that was his first comic book mystery box. He plans on doing them monthly, and I will leave a link in the description for him. But he said since he watched my my videos that he took my feedback, and that's cool. And like I said in the video originally, the books he sent me were top-notch books. But I just wasn't going to give grade or signed comic values to signed comics without COAs. That was my whole thing. So I'm curious to see what we did this time. He sent me a bunch of quarter bin books that I'll show you. No, I think he's a good dude, and like I said, I got quality books from him, and I wasn't at all disappointed with his mystery box. So I'm excited to see what I get this time. Nicely packaged, and no pull tabs, so let's just cut them. Alright, thank you. Alright, well, the tape is still holding them together. But it was cool that he reached out to me and said, hey man, you know what, give it another shot. And I was happy to give him another shot. I was glad to see that he put out another run, and I hope he does them monthly, because if this one's as good as the last one, then hey, I might be all on board with that monthly subscription stuff. Okay, first one up. Ooh, nice. This one is this one's been getting a lot of heat lately. Paper Girls #1. You come out firing right out of the box, man. You just come out firing. All right. I have another Absolute Carnage #1, and it is signed by Stegman, Ryan Stegman. And everybody's already going, oh no. Certificate of Authenticity from Midtown Comics. Midtown now is a reputable comic book store. Signed by Ryan Stegman. Very nice. And he put a COA. Andrew, my man. You're a good man. That's awesome. Alright, and next up we have Captain Marvel #8. The first appearance of Star. I'm guessing, because he made a little note on the back. First Star appearance. I admit I haven't read the Captain Marvel stuff, but I've heard about that major character that they kept talking about, Star, and so that's cool. First appearance. Man, I'm telling you what. I know this book, he didn't even have to put a sticky note on it for me. This, The Walking Dead 192. As we all know, this is the death of Rick Grimes. And no, he didn't leave any cheater notes on there for me. This makes the third one of them I've gotten. 2 of them from Comic Fu. So, but that's cool. Like I said when I got the second one from Comic Fu, if you're going to get a duplicate of something, that's not a bad one to get. Alright, and last out of the box. Okay. I believe this is a good one, because I think this one caught fire pretty quick, and I think it's still burning. But Canto #1. That's a good book. But yeah, and that was the last one, so I got... If I quit picking up, I'm trying to give him some of the ones I got from the previous unboxing. So I got 6 comic books. I got out of those 6 comic books, I got 3 #1, or oops, I'm trying to give him credit for, excuse me, that was a mainstream comic. I got 5 comic books, and out of the 5 comic books, I got 3 #1s, 2 keys, and 1 signed book. And this one was, and I wrote it down, it was $40 shipped. And already I can say with absolute certainty that I got my money's worth. And these were great. These were absolutely great. They were great the first time around, and Ryan Stegman signed with the COA, man. He did listen. You're a good man, Andrew. I appreciate it. It's not a fake COA, is it? You didn't do this to teach me a lesson, did you? But no, I'm sure you didn't. Anyway, great books. Worth the $40. I mean, I'll look them up on eBay, but I'm familiar enough with these books to know that there's more than $40 worth of value here. So, yeah, man, look him up. Comic Book Campaign on eBay. Man, he takes constructive criticism very well, and I appreciate him giving me the opportunity to buy from him again, and not taking it personally, and thumbs up, man. But we'll run them through eBay, and see what we got, and we'll be back in a flash. Stay tuned. Alright, we are back, and we ran comic book campaign. Mr. Andrew back through eBay once again, and as I said, I wasn't too worried. I was happy with all the books I got, regardless of what the value turned out. But we'll go through them just as a formality, like we always do. The Walking Dead, Death of Rick Grimes. I've already, I've looked this up a couple times, but so it's about $10. And Captain Marvel, the first appearance of Star, about $15. Okay, this one was interesting. Canto #1. Apparently there were some printing issues with this, and a lot of them that are for sale now had a printing error in it, which is these two creases that you can see right here, if I get the glare just right on the cover. Let me see if I can get a better, yeah, right here and here. That is not, it's not actually a handling defect, it's a printing defect. And with those two creases in that same spot on a lot of the comics, and they still run for about $10 with the creases. Without them, it's about a $20 book. But it is a printing error, not a damaged book. So, and Paper Girls #1. I actually thought this one was worth more, but it must have cooled off. But it's worth $8. And finally, Absolute Carnage #1, signed with a COA by Ryan Stegman, is worth about $20. Unsigned, about $5 without a COA. So it does make a difference. But at any rate, so that brings the total up to about $63. Spent $40, got $63 in solid value back, and there's not one single solitary book in this that I'm not happy with. I wouldn't turn my nose up at any one of those 5 books at all. Love them all. Love every one of them. So Andrew, hey, Andrew at Comic Book Campaign, thumbs up, man. Great job. This is perfect mystery box for me. Loved it. Can't wait until January's mystery box, and I'll be hitting you up again. So if you hadn't ordered one from Comic Book Campaign, I will drop a link in the description below. Check him out. It's worth it. Worth the money. Good books. And that being said, that will come to an end to this video, and we will see you on the next unboxing. Peace.